Hey guys, Marshall from Going Gear, SHOT Show 2014 in Las Vegas. We're here with Andrew from Surefire. He's going to be showing us a lot of the new products, and they have a lot of stuff this year and some pretty cool stuff. So we're going to get at it and take a look at what they have.
Yes, indeed. So up first here we have our Fury Scout lights. It's a take on our popular Fury handheld light. A lot of people were taking those handhelds and throwing them on long guns because they like the beam pattern that the Fury created. So what we've done is we've taken the head from that same Fury and put it on our Scout light series. So both the 620 body with the throw lever and the 600 series body with the thumb screw mount. So this throw lever right here is the M93, the quick release mount. Take it off real quick, put it on real fast. The advantage of this head from the Furies is that it gives you a lot more floodlight than our TIR lenses do. So the TIR lenses are pretty much more intended for reaching out further. It focuses the beam, it gives you a lot more distance. So the 600 Ultra and the 620 Ultra are still available if a distance is your main requirement. However, if you're dealing with targets that are much closer in, you want a little bit more peripheral or a little bit more flood, this will increase your situational awareness. So we're really excited to be rolling this out. This should be debuting in about 1 month's time is when we'll start shipping them. The heads, so for the retrofits for the old Scout lights, will be showing up 30 days after the light. So
pretty much everything we're looking at today is going to be production this year.
Yes, sir.
So no several years out kind of prototype stuff?
90%. There are a few items out here that are a little bit further out, but majority, I'd say 90% of this, we're looking at 2014 they're going to come out.
Excellent. It's good to hear.
So moving on, we have this is a Fury handheld sitting in a QRM mount. That's the quick release mount. So it's a new item for us. Utilizes a shotgun style safety. So you can see here with the padlock engraving, this is the unlock. So when the bar is over on the lock side, the button will not release the mount off the rail. So all it is you flip it over to the unlock, push the button, and you can take it off your rail real quick. This particular one is for a 1-inch mount, so P3X, 6PX, any of those same diameter lights will fit in there. Just a new mounting solution, a little bit more low profile, lightweight, and quick to get on and off the rail. Very secure. This is the P3X weapon light kit. Uses a new Omni switch, has a safety so that you can disable the light, don't have to worry about a white light ND. When you're ready to use it, you can slide that sleeve forward. All it takes is a 45-degree push on the back for momentary activation and a rotation for constant on. So you can do that all with your thumb. It's a knurled tail cap, very intuitive activation.
Is that switch going to work with any other lights at all, or are you going to offer it separately?
Primarily, it's going to be sold with the P3X weapon light and P2X weapon light kits. However, we are considering selling it separately. That's not quite determined just yet.
Does it work with other lights?
Yes, it'll work with the same body style, so anything that's a P2X, 6PX.
So there's no circuitry in the head or anything that gives it that operation? It's
no.
On the tail switch?
Yeah, you'll be just fine running on anything else. The circuitry's still in the head, but tail caps are just activation, so you can take this off, put it on anything else. Moving on, we have our new Freeflow rail. This particular one is the 14-inch length, so it's the RFF 14. There will be a few other lengths available, so 10, 12, and there might be a fourth length. We're not sure yet what it's going to be. That's still to be determined. Very interesting, uses the standard barrel nut. You retain your delta ring, and it has a slick rail setup. Now this particular slick rail setup is proprietary. We can mount our direct mount, our Scout Light series lights. That's the M300s, M600s, and also X400s, and the QRM mounts will all mount directly to this rail. Now you can do the 3/6 of the 9 and also these offset positions. So we're very excited to get this out. Integral sling cups for multiple mounting solutions for your sling. It's a very lightweight rail. This particular model, the 14-inch, weighs 11.2 ounces, so very lightweight. Also has Picatinny sections on here, so if you want to add Picatinny for whatever accessories, you can do so. Duke Defense rapid transition sights on this particular upper. The new model's coming out for this year. You've probably seen them before. The new model's coming out for this year, the fiber optic. It's available with both a red and a green. And there's also a tritium version coming out that'll have a 2-dot rear sight as well as a 1-dot front. Over here, the Hellfighter 5. This is the newest Hellfighter that we have rolling out. It's up to 4,500 lumens. That's 4,500. Obviously, these are primarily meant for up guns in the military, so that's like 50 cals, Mark 19s, 240, 249s, typically ran off vehicle power. However, these do have an onboard lithium-ion battery, so you can pull it off the gun, flip these handles up, and use it as a handheld unit. The back has a battery indicator, so you can check the status of how much power you have left on the battery, and that's your activation for when you're using handheld.
So what we're seeing right there is a totally self-contained unit. There's no other parts you need to make it function.
Correct. Like I said, Typically, it's going to be ran with a cable set into your vehicle power, but you can dismount it and use it as a handheld. That's a secondary use. Primarily, it'll be ran off vehicle power, but if you need to, you can do it. Moving on over here, we have our V1. So this is our Vampire series you've probably seen before with the scout lights. Basically what it is 2 LEDs inside the head. One dedicated for white light, one dedicated for infrared. You also have a disabled position. So the way you select between the modes is you pull and you twist. So that right there is the off. Now you're in infrared and you can go back to white. Dual direction pocket clip, small lightweight, it's based off our backup, just with a Vampire head. Moving on, the Y300. Basically an X300 series body. You may be familiar with the pistol lights. This was a requirement from some prison guards. They didn't use tubular flashlights because some people were worried about it might be used as a weapon if it was dropped. So I'm trying to put that as politically correct as possible. So this is the X300. They were running regular X300s in their pockets and they weren't retaining them too well. It's very hard to access. So basically it's a magnetic belt clip. You can put it on your belt, deploy the light very quickly, and also stow the light very quickly. It's a very strong magnet. You don't have to worry about losing your light, jumping out of cars, over fences, whatever. It'll stay with you. Still a 500 lumen high, also has a 15 lumen low. Most common question is that everyone asks if you can put it on a gun. Sure you can. You can take this off, put the weapon light mount on there, throw it on a pistol if you like. However, we don't recommend it. It's a dual stage light. Dual stage lights we don't think should be on pistols. You don't want to have that low output come on at an inopportune time. Moving onwards, 2211 Luminox. So you've probably seen our original 2211 plain without the watch. This is the new model that has the watch integrated into the body. So idea behind this is that you always have the light on you when you need it. You don't have to dig through your pockets to pull out your flashlight. If you're running a concealed carry weapon, typically most people don't put a light on those guns. So what they'll do is they'll have a handheld in one light and the gun in the other. This is a much better solution. Keeps your hands free from manipulations, malfunction clearance, reloads, all that with a light in your hand is very difficult. So it's better to have your hands free. The orientation of the light beam is in a way as such when you grip the pistol, the light's perfectly to your 12 o'clock. So it's also a great utility light. I use it all the time. It's right there when you need it. It's really nice not having to dig into your pockets. Just quickly click over, hit the button. Activation switches on both sides. This one's a high of 300 lumens, gives you a real wide output. You can also hold both buttons for the low outputs. There's 3 modes there.
What are the low outputs on it?
So it's a high of 300, middle output is 60 lumens, and the lowest output is 15. Moving on over here, we have our Maximus Vision headlamp. Now the Maximus was debuted, I believe about 1 year ago, so last SHOT Show. It's a magnesium body, lithium-ion rechargeable battery on board. Now the new Vision model basically has a warm LED. That means that the LED color tone is a lot more warm, a lot more similar to normal daylight. It's a little bit easier for your eye to pick up. So LEDs are typically on the colder side, a little bit more blue. This one's a little bit more yellow. So between 0 and 500 lumens, and you can select that with the rotating dial on the side. Coming around the other side, we have our P3X Furies. So these have been out for a while. They've been very popular. The body's been recently redesigned. So we have some knurling now on the body. Gives you a little bit better grip. Also a new anti-rotating bezel. So if it's on a non-level ground, it won't roll away from you. High output of 1,000 lumens, and of course there's 2 models, the Tactical and the Pro. Tactical being 1 level, 1,000 lumens every time you hit the button, tail caps press for momentary, twist for constant. On the Pro, it's a low of 15, high of 1,000, and a click type tail cap.
Are we going to see some of the variations that we see with the P2X, with the Defender, and all the different options?
Not determined just yet, most likely not. It's probably just going to be these 2 guys right here.
Okay.
Moving on, we have the R2 lawman, similar to the R1, but it uses a new VOC tail cap, but that means it's a variable output control. So like our Minimus, like our headlamps, you can rotate it and go between your different lumen levels. Let me point this at the counter here, you can get a better view of it. Now you still have the tail cap button that you can activate for your max blast. Very excited to be rolling this out. That has a high output of 800 lumens and a low of 15.
What does the side switch do?
Side switch is momentary for low for admin close-in work. Over here we have our P1Rs, Peacekeeper lights. So the Peacekeeper is meant as an entry-level rechargeable. Some people were commenting on our R1, UBR, UNRs. Price point on those is a little bit more high because they have so many features integrated into the lights. Now these are very simplistic lights, so we're able to keep the cost down on them. Runs on an 18650 rechargeable battery. We've had a lot of requests for those, so it's an 18650 finally. And 2 models available, just like the 6PX, the P2X, P3X. There's a Pro and a Tactical.
And that's a standard 18650, right? Not a custom Surefire one, so if people have 20 of them, they'll be able to use them in these lights.
That's correct, standard 18650. So 800 lumen on high, 15 lumens on the low. Moving on over here, a few new lights. You may have seen the Annihilator last year. We've been able to shrink the size down a little bit, actually a good amount. This has a 8-dye proprietary LED.
I'm going to go ahead and turn my head for this one.
Yeah, it's a little bit bright. It's a 5,000 lumen output. So a few applications for this. You know, you could use it as a searchlight if you want. Your eye does pick up green quite well, but it's mainly intended for escalation of force device, for a less than lethal option. The whole shout, show, shove, shoot. It's a good option before you shoot somebody. Doing this might change their mind if they're coming at you in a VCP or vehicle checkpoint, anything like that. So
just one output on that.
Correct. Moving on, Dominator. This is the UDR. It's been a long time coming. Recently went under an upgrade for the LED, so now we're up to 2,400 lumens. A few different options as far as activation goes. So you see these 3 buttons right here. This is your max blast, so it'll always give you your high output. Middle one is your momentary, and this will give you whatever your selector ring's at. So this selector ring, put it down here to the low setting. That's momentary for low. This over here says const for constant on. That'll give you constant on for your selector switch. Now, no matter what the selector's at, whenever you hit max blast, you're going to get that high output.
So even if it's in another output, you hit that max blast, it's always going to be that max output.
That is correct.
Can you show us the reflector and the LED down in there, just so we can get an idea of the size? That's a huge reflector in there.
It is. This thing punches out to some good distance. So those will primarily be used in a SAR, search and rescue use. So for, you know, from a helicopter, from a bird, you're looking for somebody that's lost. This will definitely punch out to a good amount of distance, but it's still relatively manageable as far as size and weight's concerned for the output that it gives you.
Have you guys done the ANSI ratings on that yet for distance and all that?
They are not posted yet, so I don't want to comment on them just yet.
Gotcha.
So over here we have our RFDO7. It's a railed forend drop-in, 7 being the length, 7 inches for a carbine length forend. So slick on the side, similar to the Freeflow rail that you saw. Again, you can direct mount our Scout Light series right here. This is the M600V Vampire light. You can remove the top and rotate it 180 degrees so that you can put a 203 on the bottom. So for, you know, military guys that want to run a 40 mic, you can do so. Moving on, M6LT, popular light. It's been out for quite a while. LED package has just been upgraded, so now it's up to 1,200 lumens. So very, very bright light. Still pretty compact, manageable.
And you do the same thing for the UB3T and the M3LT, right?
They're all being upgraded, yes sir. Excuse me. Over here, we have the X400 green. Has our green laser. Like the regular X400, you can select between laser only, combination, as well as just white light. And there's also a disable feature. So, like our regular X series lights, you push forward for momentary, rock for constant. It's fully ambidextrous. You'll find those switches on both sides. This particular unit is equipped with a DG switch, DG11 for Glocks. It's a remote pressure switch for one-handed activation. So canine handlers, even for a home defense role, you might have to grab your kids. You want to be able to illuminate and engage at the same time. This allows you to do that.
Is that coming with that one, or is that just showing the option?
DG11 is an accessory. You'd have to purchase that separately. Moving on. Few infrared options. So this is the X400 UA IR white light 500 lumen head with an IR laser. So this particular model is the IRC, C being civilian, for class 1 eye safe lasers. There's also going to be a restricted one at 5 milliwatts. Over here there's the X400 VAIR. Utilizes the same Vampire head you've seen before. So you have white light and infrared options, also an infrared laser. Now again, this is going to be offered in a civilian safe class 1 as well as a restricted 5 milliwatt laser. So very excited to get this out. Be a great aiming solution for your pistols, obviously with use with night vision devices. So over here we have the 22 Rider Suppressor. So this is a big deal for Surefire. Typically we focus on our military markets with our centerfire cans. This is 100% a commercial item, being that it's a 22 LR can. So it's a hard anodized aluminum can, weighs 3.1 ounces, so it's extremely lightweight. It's a thread-on. Thread pitch is 1/2 by 28. You can use it on a pistol or a long gun. It's user maintainable, so you can take it apart, clean the baffles yourself. It's got this tool that it comes with. Simply just punch the bore with it, unthread the baffle stack, and it'll all slide out.
We got some of the original. I still have my
There's
original.
the baffles are numbered, so you know the order to put them back. Uses a patented pig nose baffle design. They're anodized red. Now, a lot of people are asking, why is it red? Why isn't it just black? I think it's a stylistic only thing. Well, when you're cleaning this thing, it's nice to be able to, once you scrape off the carbon, lead fouling, to know when you stop, so you're not just scraping away metal. So you see red, stop cleaning. That's simple. So we're very excited for it. Super lightweight, super quiet. Basically a loud staple gun for your 22.
It's going to be a pretty solid price on it too, right?
Correct. It's coming in at $469, which we feel is very competitive.
Nice. That is very competitive.
Yes, sir.
All right, Andrew, thank you for your time.
No problem at all. Pleasure.